Okay, I talked about making a painted paper uh, tutorial, and I'm making it right now. This is if you're new and you don't know a whole lot about me, my tutorials, in my head I call them demonstrations, because being an art teacher never leaves me. So if I speak as though I kind of sound like an art teacher or someone who is maybe a teacher, that's probably why. So I'm going to show you some of the supplies and things that I use, and then I'm going to show you the demonstration, because I realized when I was setting all of this up, it's like, wow, I got a lot of stuff out here and I need to explain it. So let's go with the papers first. I tend to use a lot of recycled papers because they're free. This is just a cut up grocery bag. This is one of my favorites. And then these are grocery circulars. These are always handy to have around when you're in general as an artist, or if you're doing something paint-based or messy, because it'll pick up the mess. Now, some of you out there may say, no, I would really rather not use that kind of paper. These are papers that I picked up for various reasons at the dollar store. This is construction paper, which has a similar kind of consistency and feel when you're looking at the surface of the paper and how the feel. It's construction paper is not color fast. It's not fabulous paper. It's basically meant for craft supplies. You can use something like this. However, it doesn't stand up to a whole lot of paint, especially really inexpensive construction paper. So this is the kind of paper I would put like one coat of something on and then be done with it. I'm not going to really do a whole lot of reworking back into it. The sketch pads that you can get, this is the black that's on the bottom, which is really great. This was at the dollar store. This is really inexpensive. This is probably a little, as I'm feeling it, a little less strong than regular copy paper. Now, again, those of you who may not know me, I was a graphic designer too. So I tend to spend a lot of time on paper quality. So you can use this sort of paper too. Any kind of paper that you can lay your hands on is fun to experiment with. Now, when it comes to the paints that I use, I do not use expensive paints. This is one of my favorites that I've been using, the color. This is another dollar store buy, but also this one is one of the Michaels brands, and then this is Apple Barrel, which is by Plaid. I like a lot of Plaid products. I think I've told you that in the past. I have a jar. Let me make sure the lid's on it. This is my water jar. When I'm working, I will have water on my desk, and I always make sure I have a lid, because you have a couple of bad spills in your entire life and you realize how much having a lid will help you. This also means I can use it as a weight, which means I can put things underneath it and place things on top, because I'm poor. Now, the paint palette that I'm working with, this is an old takeaway box. And I covered it, because it's black, you can see it's black plastic. I covered it with tin foil. Again, a dollar store buy. I use a lot of tin foil. Is kind of handy to have around, and again, I'm calling it tin foil when it's really I'm looking at the word and I want to say aluminum, but I'm reading it as aluminium, which is weird. It's like the word photographer. I'll read it and I want to say photographer, but I know it's photographer. Anyway, I use this simply because it also came with a lid, which is handy if I need to step away with something, because I work in a really tight confined space. So having a lid that will go on something, it'll snap on without this stuff on it, but I usually just put a rubber band around it if I'm going to be away for a little more, 10 minutes or more. Now, painting supplies, really inexpensive brushes, and you can see I have a fork here. The reason I have a fork is a texture thing. You can see the tines on the plastic fork. I also have some little bits of foam and some texture. This is one of the textures I really like a lot. This is just bubble wrap. I cut it into some more manageable pieces. You could use much more longer pieces if you want. You can also use a variety of different sorts of shapes if you wanted to dip things in paint and move things around. This is, again, coming from the elementary part of me. Pieces of cardboard can be used to make lines. Anything can be used to make a circle. I have some prescriptions that I have to have. And while the amber bottle is not fabulous for mixing paint, if you mix it and you don't have a bottle, you can use this. Label what it is, label what the contents are, whether it's a watered down, because you know that I tend to, well, I tend to, and I can't find any right now. Here is my toothpicks, and I label everything. So those are the basic supplies, and you can see I've got a surface where I can be a little messy. Again, when you're using newsprint and brown paper, I usually would tape it down to the desks or tables because I don't want it to move around. And that's just a personal preference of my own. And because this video is a little long, I'm going to show you in the next video how I do the painting.